Provide us with masks. They say they do, they don't.
We don't want to put our lives in danger, and we don't want to put our patients at danger either.
The richest corporation actually in the history of our planet is refusing to pay its workers more than $2 an hour hazard pay.
They do not respect us. They do not respect our community.
May Day, or International Workers' Day. In honor of workers, I wanted to share some stories I've seen in recent months. I found it helpful to see workers banding together to accomplish things. These stories are all from recent months in response to the current pandemic. For me, these serve as a reminder to focus on what we can do. I think it can be helpful to talk about the problems of our current systems, or the way we look at things as a starting point. But if we never see actions we can actually take, there's a danger of feeling hopeless and becoming apathetic. Just accepting things for the way they are because what can we do about it? I imagine everyone watching this is likely working class, meaning you require a wage to survive. And to be clear, this also includes those who can't work, because you still require a wage to have things like food and adequate housing. This doesn't change because you're disabled or for any other reason unable to work. I didn't actually know anything about May Day until recently, probably because I've lived in the United States my entire life, where there has been a lot of effort over the years to weaken worker rights and protections. For example, here unions are often demonized. So I was surprised to learn that May Day actually started in the United States. In fact, it's also referred to as Labor Day. Now, you may be thinking the United States has a Labor Day in September, and you'd be right. But what you may not know is that our Labor Day is specifically celebrated in September due to worry about attaching it to the Haymarket Massacre, which was in May of 1886. Somewhere between 30,000 to 40,000 workers gathered in Chicago on May 1st to protest for the 8-hour workday. This was the epicenter of the worker movement. It's estimated between 300,000 to 500,000 workers across the United States walked off their jobs on that day. After a few days, things became violent in Chicago as police fired upon workers that were confronting strikebreakers. If you want to hear a more complete history as to how the 8-hour workday came about, including some of the events at Haymarket, which included a bomb being thrown at the police, I recommend checking out this video by Step Back History. The Haymarket Massacre in 1886 was a pivotal moment in the fight for the 8-hour workday, and yet wasn't accomplished for most workers by law until 1938 with the Fair Labor Standards Act, which of course still has many loopholes which we still see abused today, things like companies declaring their workers as independent contractors. And the 8-hour workday had been a general demand since 1864. Although there were workers, like in Philadelphia, going back as far as 1791, striking to fight for a 10-hour workday, reducing the workday had clearly been an ongoing battle for quite some time. Fighting for big change can take a long time, but if workers hadn't struggled for those rights, we would still be working 100 hours a week. We still have a long way to go, especially here in the United States, where we don't even have mandated paid leave. And companies are always trying to slowly chip away at these rights, as there's a good chance you have seen your hours start to increase to over 40 a week again. What takes so long to get these rights is for enough workers to band together. Unfortunately, things often get really bad before we won't take it anymore. This year, we are seeing frustration growing to a new high. Economic inequality has been on the rise for a long time. It is at the highest it's ever been. And now we've been hit by a pandemic. Many struggle to get by as unemployment skyrockets. People are losing their healthcare since it is tied to employment. It doesn't have to be this way. This May Day may be another historic one as workers fight to be treated with dignity, to be treated as human beings and not an expendable resource.
Something has to stop. Today was a success. Today was a win for us.
If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. We are stronger together.